Good morning. Can you see that it's still dark outside? I woke up this morning to 55 degrees and I turned on the local weather station and it said that it could get as high as 58 closer to the lake. We're not going to see that, but it is supposed to drop back down into the mid to lower 30s by 5 o'clock this evening. But last night I kept waking up because of the amount of pounding rain and wind. I was thinking, oh, I really hope that creek doesn't overflow because we will have a mess. When the creek overflows, our basement usually gets a little bit of water in there, and because we don't keep the sub pump on, we have French drains, but it can just get so much water from all that melting of nearly 3 feet of snow in some areas and the rain on top of it, then that the French drains just can't handle it. Anyways, I was going to go outside and show you how much of the snow is gone, but it is still lightly raining out there, so I'm going to wait for the sun to come up a little bit and then I will show you that. But I hope you have a very blessed day and I will talk to you in a little while. Well, as you can see, it is still raining, so I would rather not take the camera out in it, but there's very little snow. That one pile that you see right there, that was huge. That's where my husband was plowing. But it's just so good to see so much of the snow is gone and our driveway is clear. Honestly, yesterday when I went to meet my friend, it was horrible to drive in. The ruts of ice were so thick and deep. And now it's just about all gone. Well, we are going to give this a shot. I can't get this camera wet, so I am actually considering buying a GoPro because they sell them that are waterproof, which might make it a lot easier for me, considering where we live is we probably have more cloudy and rainy days than we do bright, sunny, warm days. Sorry, I was going down the steps there and thought I was going to miss my step, but no, I was right where it's supposed to be. But look at all this grass. It is so nice to see the grass, and I am going to turn around the camera so you can see. And I'll lift up this umbrella. Look at the grass. It is so wonderful to see all that grass. But it is really a lot of standing water. And my husband, when he got home from work, he went right down in the basement and no, dry, dry, dry. And he went over to where the French drains come out. And it's probably, I don't know, maybe about 125 feet away from the house where they actually exit. And he said, he took a rake with him. He said he raked out a little bit of debris, but they were flowing fine. So that was good news, because that's what happened the last time that we got backed up with water in our basement, and it was clear water. I mean, it was just rainwater is what it was, but it had just backed up with lots of dead leaves and twigs and stuff like that. But boy, oh boy, let me tell you, it made a mess in our basement. Wow. Luckily for us, the things that were really important to me were not on the floor of the basement, so things didn't get ruined. But honestly, some things did. I mean, hey, you don't always put things where they belong, or if you do, you're not like me, because yeah, sometimes things just kind of get put in places, then you think, oh, well, I'll take care of this later, and later might not come. But it is just really nice to just see the grass, you know. But look at the mess over there. Oh my goodness. Let me see. I gotta keep this camera covered, but that is our goat house wherein we used to have goats. And we have done nothing with it for 2 years. We had goats for almost 8 years, and when our last goat died, I am such a softie at heart. It just, I don't know, I just can't do it. It just breaks my heart. So I just think I'd rather not have the heartache. So that's why we didn't get any more goats. But they sure were a lot of fun. Oh my goodness. They were so silly. I enjoyed that. But anyways, there's not much going on here because it's just one of those days. Well, I'll talk to you after a little bit. Good evening, everyone. I trust that everyone had a really nice day. Mine actually was really quiet. One of those type of days that it's just too quiet. And yeah, I started doing my laundry soap, and I had a problem getting some motivation going today. I think that was it. Just getting that motivation, you know, and so that's still unfinished on my kitchen island. But what can I say, right? It is definitely colder here. It is in the upper 30s, depending on where you live. The closer to the lake you are, the little warmer it'll be. But luckily, it hasn't frozen. All that water hasn't froze, and that, because that could be a problem, you know. But it hasn't. It hasn't dipped down that low. It's in the mid to upper 30s. So that's a good thing. That is a very good thing. And I'm just thrilled to get rid of that snow. Tonight, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about grace. And I know I'm going to butcher this man's last name, but Frederick Buechner said, like any other gift, the gift of grace can be yours only if you'll reach out and take it. Maybe being able to reach out and take it is a gift too. And I thought that was quite profound, because he's absolutely right. You can be given a gift, but if you don't use the gift, if you just put it in your closet, it's not doing you any good. It's not helping you. Now, I do realize that he was speaking about the gift of salvation that Christ provides for us. But the word grace is defined as this: unmerited divine assistance given humans. Grace can also be defined as God's sufficiency or God's fullness in the life of a believer. You know, sometimes our day-to-day lives can be difficult, and not necessarily that what we do is hard or difficult, although that can be the case. But our life can seem to be mundane or unimportant, and we mistakenly begin to compare ourselves and our lives with others. I think that was my lack of motivation today, and that is probably why I started thinking on grace. You know, we are to look to the Lord. He is our sufficiency. In Him we find satisfaction. God told Paul in 2 Corinthians 12:9, "My grace is sufficient for you, For my strength is made perfect in weakness. You see, the grace of God in Paul enabled him and empowered him in his weakness. 1 Corinthians 1:27 tells us, but God has chosen the foolish things of the world to put to shame the wise. And God has chosen the weak things of the world to put to shame the things that are mighty. I like that because I think that most of us, when we live our ordinary, mundane lives, we are the ones that he is talking about there. We are the ones that God is going to use to put to shame the wise and the mighty. In 2 Corinthians 9:8, we are told that God is able to make all grace abound toward you, that you always having all sufficiency in all things may abound to every good work. God's grace working in us supplies the sufficiency by which we may overflow every good work. Every good work that we do in our lives, God, by his grace and his sufficiency, is going to overflow it to abundance. And we must remember that God is enough for us no matter what situation we face. I went ahead and I looked up on my computer some synonyms for the word grace. And I just want to read you a few. And this is just a tiny portion of how many there actually were. Kindness, kindliness, favor, mercy, mercifulness, charity, benevolence, clemency, leniency, reprieve, forgiveness, compassion, generosity, goodness, love, tenderness, compassionateness, forbearance, indulgence, pardon, responsiveness, goodwill. Wow. And that was just a few that I wrote down. So with that, I want to remind you, life happens. Let's enjoy it, even in those mundane days that we have little motivation. Let us lean on the grace of God and declare his goodness. And I want to read something to you. Grace is God giving the greatest treasure to the least deserving, which is every one of us. I think that's what Missy is looking for. Huh? You looking for a little bit of my grace? I love you too. And with that, good night. I'll see you tomorrow.